This is Southern Cross News with Joe Palmer.
Good evening, everyone. Two men who were involved in a car crash that killed a Hobart woman on Thursday evening are still on the run. Tasmania police say the men would have sustained significant injuries and are urging them to hand themselves in.
This is where the fatal crash occurred. The driver at fault and his passenger are still on the run.
We've spoken to a lot of people. And that'll continue over the coming days.
The 42-year-old victim had been shopping at Kmart with friends and was on her way home. It took emergency services an hour to free her before she died en route to hospital.
Obviously, this is a significant incident and a tragedy, so we'd encourage anyone that's got information to come forward and help us out.
Police are urging anyone with CCTV footage to come forward. Forensic investigators determining that the culprits would have sustained significant injuries.
Possibly to their faces and probably knees and body as well. So we'd be looking for any information in relation to people with fresh injuries.
Meanwhile, the rider of a homemade motorised bike has survived a collision with a ute in New Norfolk. The 33-year-old rider was taken to hospital with serious head, chest and spinal injuries and remains in a critical condition.
Use common sense on their roads for everyone involved. If you're going out there on a bicycle with no lights in the dark, then you are at risk.
Louise Hedger, Southern Cross News.
A major revamp of tourist facilities at Cradle Mountain could get underway within months after a development application was lodged with the Kentish Council. Stage 1 will include building a brand new visitor centre to help keep up with increasing demand.
This could soon be the gateway to Cradle Mountain's Wilderness Playground. The development application to build this today lodged with the Kentish Council.
It'll offer improved world-class visitor services, including a restaurant and cafe and other support services to showcase this extraordinary location.
The new facility is set to replace the existing one and give visitors somewhere to escape the cold. There will also be more car parking spaces.
It's really going to be an awesome project with lots of viewing points and better facilities.
The state government contributing $21 million to help make the facility a reality.
We've had growth in tourism numbers to Cradle Mountain of around 16% year on year. And this year we're looking at breaking the 250,000 mark for the first time ever.
But the application will first have to pass through council before work can get underway as expected later this year. So far it's avoided opposition.
We still have to go through the approval process, so there's a lot of work to be done yet.
The next stage of the project is developing a viewing platform right here near the Dove Lake car park. A development application for that is expected to be lodged in September. And as for the proposed cable car linking the visitor centre to the lake, that's part of the final stage.
We expect there's probably around 12 to 18 months of detailed investigation to de-risk it, as I say, and then there'll be those conversations with the private sector and the Commonwealth around the additional funding required.
If approved, it's hoped the centre and Dove Lake viewing shelter will be completed by late 2019. Monika Dadson at Southern Cross News.
Tasmanian residents were out to be heard today, protesting against what is being called decades of inaction on an upgrade to the Bridgewater Bridge. Labor nominee for Lyons, Jen Butler, hosting today's event, claiming the National Highway upgrade is a critical issue and the bridge is well overdue for providing safe pedestrian access.
This has been used as a political punching bag for 43 years. This community is sick of their needs not being met. I have school kids who can't ride their bikes to Granton to go to football training.
Matthew Groom says Labor can't be taken seriously on the issue after failing to deliver a new bridge during their time in government. Tasmanian GP registrars are undergoing crucial skills training in a bid to see their patients in competent hands. 30 registrars took part in the workshop to learn the intricacies of wound care and identifying skin lesions.
Australia does have really high rates of skin cancer, and therefore it's very common for GPs to see people with skin cancer, and it's quite an art to recognising the difference between non-cancerous and cancerous skin lesions.
The course also covering information on how to inform the community on skin cancer prevention. The Tasmanian Hockey Centre has reopened one of its fields after a $700,000 makeover. Jointly funded by the state government, Hockey Tasmania and the Tasmania Community Fund, the works make the surface suitable for play in all weather conditions. Hockey Tasmania says the sport is growing by 8% each year.
We're hopeful at some stage of being able to hopefully build another ground as well, have another turf, because we are starting now to reach our capacity for enabling us to play over winter.
The field is also expected to be used for the National Masters tournament in September.
In the TSL, Clarence has claimed bragging rights in this afternoon's Eastern Shore Derby, holding on against the Bombers for an 18-point win. Hobart City Demons raced away with it against the Tigers in North Hobart to claim a 54-point win. Devonport recording its first win of the season over Burnie in today's Coastal Derby, while North Launceston was too good for the Blues overnight.
The Bombers normally come out firing on home soil against their old rivals, but they were nowhere to be seen in the first term. Home side didn't stay quiet for long, rallying in the second as Jordan Roberts booted 2 quick majors to get them back in the mix. Dylan Fife kicked true to make it 1 goal difference come the main break. Trent Standen got the Roos back in front, but the Bombers refused to say die. Ryan Wiggins recovering from a clash to step back and convert. In the end, the Roos class showed through, but only just, taking the match by 3 majors. It was a scrappy, low-scoring affair at North Hobart Oval. Tim Peterson booting one of the Tigers' few majors. Brendan Batchelor proved slippery, showing shades of Dusty Martin, but his accuracy in front of the sticks was less impressive. Michael Bidgood gave the home side the lead before Ryan Matthews extended it. Josh Williamson providing one of the game's few highlights with this long-range bomb. Poor kicking haunting the Tigers as the D's went on to claim the 54-point win. A tight tussle at UTAS Stadium overnight as informed goal magnet Zach Burt opened the account for North Launceston. Ruler Mansell answered for the Blues with nothing in it at quarter time. Big Bart McCulloch was too strong down forward as his solid season continued. Brad Cox-Goodyear slotting this one home from 40 metres out. Cox-Goodyear for 2 in a row. But the Blues kept coming, with Sonny Whiting producing some magic from the boundary. Tom Couch showing anything Sonny could do, he could do too. Cox-Goodyear soon had another as the Bombers booted away. A couple of late majors from Sam Lonergan, not enough. North Launceston taking it by 21 points.
It was a great game, I think, for the 2 northern clubs to have a 20 odd point difference. It's fantastic for footy in the north, and our boys did a great job to really take it up to them.
It's funny, yeah, you're 9-2, but walking off the ground thinking, we can play better, and that's probably the most exciting thing.
Tom Cooper, Southern Cross News.
Following a horror road trip last weekend, the Chargers season is back on track with a dominant 30-point win over Albury-Wodonga at the Deck last night. Former Tawn Michaela Roof had a frustrating night at her new side, with the women squandering a half-time lead.
Always dangerous with the ball, Chris Whitehead got things going for the Chargers as fellow import Mathiang Muo fired up. Not to be outdone, Tom Garland helped the home side along to a handy 6-point lead at the first break. Rob Heyer on song from behind the arc, with the Chargers extending the buffer to 18 by half-time. As the Bandits buckled under the pressure, Tiri Masunda capitalised on the errors. Up by 23 points heading into the final term, the Chargers weren't about to let up. Rob Heyer's 23-point heroics helping a home side along to an easy 30-point win. In the women's match, Kathleen Shear helped the home side to a narrow lead at the first change. Kylie McCauley provided the strong body down in the paint as former Tawn Michaela Roof looked right at home in her new colours, notching up 12 first-half points. The Bandits came out firing in the third as careless use of the ball began to cost the Chargers, and Roof wasn't shy about voicing her frustrations. Britt Parker was solid from downtown, but the home side's luck had dried up by the final term and the baskets stopped falling. The Bandits too good in the end, running away with a 15-point win. Tom Cooper, Southern Cross News.
Devonport has cemented itself as the side to beat this NPL season with an incredible 10-1 demolition of Clarence United at Valley Road this afternoon. The competition powerhouse had 5 on the board at half-time before finishing strong. Braden Mann had a field day for the home side with 5 goals. Kingborough pulled off a last-minute 1-1 draw against the Rangers at Lightwood Park before Adam Harbez scoring the equaliser 2 minutes into penalty time. While Olympia's hopes of remaining in the title race suffered a blow overnight at KG5, the side drawing with rivals the Hobart Zebras 1-1. Jacob Sklenar providing the highlight of the match, catching the keeper off his mark.
Good evening. It was a partly cloudy Saturday with showers across the west and snowfall observed at 300 metres. Hobart, Launceston and Devonport all reached 11 degrees today. 11 was the number of the day. Lowhead, Wynyard, St Helens, Bushy Park and Strawn all hit 11. The islands reached the state max of 12 and Mount Wellington achieved the state's low with a chilly -5 overnight. On the satellite, unstable cellular cloud over the state and a cold front now in the Tasman Sea. A thin band of mid-level clouds spanning across the country and a weakening low pressure system off the WA coast, producing some isolated thunderstorms. The rest of the country, mostly cloud-free. A closer look of the state shows low-level cloud moving in from the west with a cold and unstable air mass. On the synoptic, a cold front approaches Tasmania in the morning and a low pressure system to the west of the Bight becoming more dominant. Looking at the coastal waters, west to northwesterly winds up to 30 knots, southwesterlies up to 40 knots, swells reaching 5 metres in the south. A gale force warning tomorrow for northern coastal waters from Stanley to St Helens Point and for eastern and southern western waters from Wineglass Bay to Sandy Cape. A strong wind warning tomorrow for all remaining coastal waters, including the southwest inshore waters. A small craft wind alert for southwest and central Plateau lakes and a warning to sheep grazers current for the southeast forecast district. Looking to tomorrow, it'll be hard to keep dry. Showers and 13 degrees for Hobart and Richmond. Ooze, showers and 12. More showers in the north for Launceston and Devonport, 13 degrees. Deloraine, showers and 11. Looking wet in Burnie with 14 the top and showers. Strawn, showers and 12. Curry, showers and wind with 13. More rain for St Helens and Swansea, 14 degrees. Whitemark, showers and 13. Looking ahead to Monday, showers in the south and west, but mostly fine for Launceston and sunny on the east coast. Tuesday, showers expected in the north and west, sunny for the east coast and cloud across the south. And that rain will be back across most of the state again on Wednesday. Around the country tomorrow, Alice Springs, a delicious 26. Sunny in Perth, 18. Adelaide, showers 16. A frosty 11 in Canberra. Sydney, sunny and 18. And Melbourne, a late shower with 14. And currently just 8 degrees and cloudy in Hobart, Launceston 8 and partly cloudy, Devonport 6 and partly cloudy. It's a good weekend for movies. Thanks, Jo.
It certainly is. Thank you very much for that, Candice. Well, that's all from the news team for now. We're going to leave you with pictures of snowfalls from across the state. Thanks for your company. Good night.